Ambiance. Imagine that they actually trust people with this. It's like a Molotov. Not that I would do anything stupid, neither should you. But that is cool, right? Talking early because of the music. Loud AF. And it's quiet AF too in town. Despite the EDCs. We'll talk about the EDCs in a minute. The Electric Daisy chicks. EDCs. Wow, I'm pulling like 13 megabits. That's sweet. This must be like in freaking HD. You know where we are. And don't you worry. If I do go to 2, well, I am going to probably do 2 days a week. If I go to 2, possibly 3 days a week, I will certainly go to different places. I'm not going to be doing much walking, I don't believe, like I already mentioned, because it is already 92 degrees. So tomorrow it's going to be like 147. Alright, let's get some coffee activities going here. Dude made my coffee. He's a cool guy. I like when chicks make my coffee better. Look at that. It's definitely not enough milk there. Yikes. Chicks just make better coffee. So I gotta get all the goodness out of there. Blah. Chicks just make better coffee. That's a given. You know what? I'm gonna save this one sugar in the raw, because I'm gonna move some sugar. Thank you, Jim. But we'll save that for the second go-around, if anyone checks on me, because the dudes probably won't. This guy, I don't remember. Let's see. Do we remember him? Maybe. Who knows? Let's get this coffee all built. I should be pointing the camera in the other direction so you could see EDCs. I just seen an EDC with her mom. But it's hard to tell if they're EDCs, you know, chicks. It's hard to tell. You never know. You never know with EDC. And what a bunch of bullshit. I mean, the city, EDC itself, they're like, oh, there's going to be 550,000 people. That's such, I don't know why they do that. That's such utter bullshit. Yeah, there's going to be 500,000 people in town. This town cannot fit 500,000 people. I don't care what anyone says. On a good day, maybe 250. Like New Year's Eve, 250 maybe. But they always blow smoke up everyone's ass. Yeah, it's going to be 500,000 people. They can't even fit 500,000 people where they're having EDC. I mean, just stop. City of Las Vegas, EDC, Tourist Commission, all you friggin' jagoffs. Just stop. Alright. What's going on, man? Could you do me a favor on the way back? Could you bring me one of these little things of steamed milk?
Steamed milk?
Yeah. Just straight up, whole milk is cool. Alright, we're off to a good start. My man's gonna take care of me. Bonk. Oh, I need 2 bonks. What up? So is everyone digging the new thumbnail? I told you I was gonna turn yesterday, well, not yesterday's, Wednesdays into a new thumbnail. Why am I cutting off my head? Cause I cut my hair. Can you tell? It was getting long. I was starting to feel like a hippie. Alright. Let me say hello to peoples. It says notify me when I go live. Am I live? I must be live. There we go. I'm live. It's Bror Fredrik live. Let me see if there's any pre-game super chat activities. I'd like to thank those first. Maria Ann with 10 Bananagramas going towards parking activities. Mark, member for 53 months. Shout out UK, 2 a.m. Nightbird, Night Owl. Nightbird, Night Owl, just like me. Phil, what up, bro? Member for 48 months. You guys are just friggin' special. Alright, let me get over to all messages. And 79 people. to start, it's kind of dark in here. It was overcast today. They've been doing a lot of freaking cloud spraying. Janice, Mary, Maria, and who else? Jim Wolf, Carol Hughes, Matt S. What's going on? Tom, what up, brother? Venus, Val Marie. I want to get all the hellos. Sony, Nancy. Come on, say hello, everyone. I want to say hello. Anyone have a birthday? I'll sing happy birthday to you, too. Who else? Mark 1, BK. Sylvia, good to see you. All classics. Dan, what up? Crypto, what's happening, bro? Bert, Porkenstein, alright. You can keep them flowing. Keep them flowing. Alright, let's get the coffee activities. I mean, this isn't going to be the best coffee ever. Phil with the fork, thank you very much. Wow, this cup is nuclear hot. Alright, let me get caffeinated a little bit. It's been overcast, but at the same time, I gotta dip into my private stash. These green packets, I don't know what the actual F is in there. So, EDCs are in full force. Someone's leftovers? That's been there since I walked up. They got lobster in there? Alright. He hooked me up. Alright, now it's gonna be better. So EDCs, the Electric Daisy, whatever. I mean, basically, for all intents and purposes, it's chicks walking around in their underwear. Even less than underwear. Like, when I was walking through here, there was like 5 chicks in thongs. In thongs. Like, I'm not talking like your average thong. Like, I mean, you couldn't see it. You could not see the string anymore from behind. And these weren't like big girls. It was just gone, swallowed up into the abyss. So you couldn't even tell that they looked like naked. For all intents and purposes, they were naked. Yeah, so that's EDC. Good times. This is kind of cool. Should I take it home as a souvenir? Looks like a singing bowl. Bet I can get it to sing. Let's see. There goes some EDCs. You're probably gonna be seeing EDCs behind me. But dudes are walking around in their underwear too. I mean, if that's your thing, so be it. But, you know, I'll take a pass on that. But yeah, everyone's walking around in their underwear. Alright, let's see what else is going on here. Mark 1 with 5. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It is nice weather, isn't it? Janice, member for 31 months. Not sure if she's here, but happy birthday to Missy Vegas. Alright, if you see Missy Vegas, let me know. Because then I'll cut loose with my rendition of Happy Birthday. Jim, what's going on? If not, I'll do it anyway. But we'll wait. Let's just wait. Alright, let's see. Chris K, your birthday is Monday? You want me to do a happy birthday? An early happy birthday? Because I don't know if I'm going to be around Monday. I don't know if you're going to be here Monday. So, I'm going to start off first by saying, Bror Fredrik coming at you with another live. And I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 2, possibly 3 times a week. You never know. And if you want to support the channel, you know how to do that. Super Chat while I'm live is the grease that keeps the wheels rolling. And I also got the Cash App, the Venmo. You know, covers the parking and the coffee and all the tipping I got to do and all that type of stuff. You know, cool. And, you know, links down there, all the good stuff. But, Chris K, you ready? Oh, you know what? I noticed it was a little far away last time. I don't want to get, like, all up in the grill or anything. But you know what? I'm going to do it this way. Wait, let me turn the camera around. Now I can get closer. Now you can hear. Because I listened to see, because I had to take that thumbnail from yesterday. So I did listen to part of my live stream from Wednesday. I was kind of funny on Wednesday. I cracked myself up a few times. But I could tell you couldn't really hear the happy birthdays all that clear. So, you ready? Incoming Venmo activities. Thank you very much. Someone was at my doorbell. Who the hell was that? Let me check that real quick. And I'm going to thank you in advance. Mary Leathers. Down at Gilligan's Island. Alright. You're missing the EDC. Should I point at the EDCs? No. Let's not do that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chris K. Happy birthday to you. And many more. That was a good one. That was like an octave lower than normal. I haven't got one commercial yet. Hope I didn't jinx it. Gilligan's Island was hot and muggy. Yikes. This view looks better. That's funny. I mean, yeah, they're like, chicks are walking around with butt floss. Is that a thing? Butt floss? Is that what we call it? I wouldn't drink any of their dirty bath water, though. We talked about that on Wednesday, too. Thank you, Venus. I appreciate that. Gilligan, what's the weather down there? I do follow some weather in some places because I just like to see. And some of it is two parts of Florida, and it's been like 85 in the places that I follow, like down by you. Yikes. You coming to Vegas next week? Well, feel free to stop by. I'm gonna invite everyone to, stop by. I mean, I can't like totally derail, but you can come hang out for a few minutes, say hello, do all the stuff, say hello to everyone online. It's cool. I like when people stop by. That's awesome. Never wear a white thong after eating Taco Bell. Ew. Ew, Ted Bird, you touched it. Yeah, I'm kind of I like checking out weather in different places. Like I always check out, what are my places? Alright, I got property out in Wyoming, so I always check Wyoming out. One day we'll start a commune out there or something, That sounds good, right? You guys would join a commune if I started one, right? We'd like grow stuff, It'd be cool. It'd be cool. Nothing like weird. Nothing weird. Not too weird. What else do I check out? Of course here, I always check out Connecticut. I check out New York. I check out Florida. I check out... Well, I'll tell you what I check out. What's on the list there? What is on my list? Oh, and of course, Lake Tahoe. Right now in Lake Tahoe, it is state line is technically the Nevada side, not South Lake Tahoe. It's a degree difference. It's a degree warmer, but it's 60 degrees. Connecticut 67, Long Island is 61, Daytona Beach is 86, down in Naples is 81. Wow. It's in the 80s. Well, it's in the 80s here. What the hell am I talking about? What's our long-term forecast? Oh no. It appeared on the screen. 102 next Thursday. That means it's going to be 107 next Thursday. So it's going to be in the mid to high 80s until then. Then Wednesday it's 100, then 102, 107. Freaking Death Valley bullshit. Alright. Is what it is. Can't do anything about it. No sense complaining about it. Even though I am going to complain about it. But we're inside. Drinking coffee. Chilling like Bob Dylan. Alright. Speaking of coffee. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. On the darker side of Vegas, not butt floss, but some guy or chick, they haven't said yet, I think it was a guy, ran into LVAC, it's a local chain of gyms here in town, I mean, it's kind of a shithole in my opinion. I mean, it's just like, it's bad. You walk in there, hey, I want to see the gym. I mean, they'll lock you in a room and turn off the air conditioner until it's 100, put a pen in your hand. I mean, try to they're just, well, a lot of gyms are nefarious like that. But someone walked in there with a wireless hole puncher and just like in the gym. One person off, and a couple other person, like, why? The story hasn't come out yet, but it was a big deal. You know, I heard, like, I don't hear shit, you know, my place is pretty freaking soundproof, but I heard EDCs. I heard all the sirens and everything. That's tragic. That's tragic. That's tragic. I mean, I don't know what prompted that or whatever. I'm sure it's going to come out in the news soon enough, but damn. People are losing their shit, you know? I don't know what the sense of desperation that people are sensing as of late. There's a lot of hostility in the air. I mean, I try to keep it light with everyone for the most part, but you can almost sense the tension when you're out. I don't know about, you know, because this is a microcosm of the world, and you can feel some tension out there. You could see tension out there. Don't know what it is. I mean, there's a lot of racial tension, there's a lot of ethnic tension, there's a lot of political tension, there's a lot of tension. I mean, people, you know, just having a hard time in life. A lot of freaking, you know, a lot of drugs and alcohol involved and everything, but still. The media is pitting everyone against everyone else. You know, they're just hoping for something really to turn shit. I don't know why. Vegas is always having bad problems. We just do a better job than everyone else of hiding it. Hello from Amy and Arthur. How are you? Stephen Lowe, you're in Bangkok right now? The heat and yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, I've been tempted. Like Mark One's always like, dude, we gotta go to Bangkok, we gotta go to Thailand, we gotta go to Pattaya. I don't know if I could handle it, you know? I don't know if I could handle the heat and the humidity. Like physical, I'm just not like, you know, this sucks, weather's bad. I mean, physically, I don't handle heat and humidity all that well. I would love to check it out. I don't know. Oh, the guy who went on the spree, yeah, the 5-0, you know, they took their wireless hole punches and they mag dumped the guy. So yeah, weren't expecting him to survive, but at the same time, you would have won. First commercial, cool, after 18 minutes. You know, wanted to at least find out what the hell was going on, you know what I'm saying? Why does someone do that? But maybe I don't want to know. And it saved the taxpayers $1 million. 81 by the pool. That's awesome. I'm catching up on your comments. You got a ribeye ready to go. You know what I found? I found 2 ribeyes and naked. Just freaking naked. Alright. Thanks for the free show. Hey, don't make me an X object. You're kind of doing it yourself. So thank you for the show. 2 ribeyes and a rib roast were in my freezer since Christmas. I took them out. I'm gonna eat them over the weekend. They don't really go bad. I mean, oh, freezer burn. Oh, stop. My palate is not that sensitive that I notice it. I mean, if it's vegetables, yeah, I'll notice it. You know, but I don't eat that many vegetables. Vegetables are assholes. I don't eat them. I'm really looking forward to my next coffee, but none of the girls are here. It's like, it's a pickle factory today. It's an utter, maybe they're all at EDC with butt floss. Maybe not, I don't know. But it's a pickle factory up in here today. Complete pickles. 71 over by Val. That's good weather. I love that weather. Shout out Naples. I was just checking your weather. 81 degrees. Yeah, the media is definitely stirring the pot. They want us all at each other's throat. Please say... Damn. Come here to my area, it's getting bad too. Really? I remember, I've been to Charlotte. I told the story. I went into some bar, and they were like, whatever, thank you. They were like, photo Chevy. I'm like, say what? They're like, photo Chevy. I was like, Chevy? And they're like, all right, come on in. If I said Ford, they would have like kicked my ass or something. Maybe I could handle the heat. I don't know. I just don't do well. I feel warm in here right now. Hey, Anthony, shout out from Warrington. And it's 64 in the OC. I like 60s are good. I put on my AC last night down to, it's working better this year. It's not running like 24/7, which is awesome. Hasn't been that hot either. It's, put it on like 67 last night. It was freaking glorious. I slept so good. 82 with 82% humidity. That's a bit rough. That's a bit rough. Not as bad as San Antonio. 100 degrees and 100% humidity. That's some bullshit right there. That's some bullshit. A friend of mine, well, an acquaintance of mine, someone I know through business, just bought a house in Texas, and they paid, it was, I think it was in Laredo, it was along the border. You can buy like cheap houses if you're willing to be on one, like the border, the smaller border. No, it wasn't Laredo. One of the border cities. I forgot which one. It was like oil town, sort of. Paid $155 for a 2,800 square foot house with a 3-car garage. $155K. But you're right across the border there. And the only thing I don't like about it, I looked into it. I'm just like, 155, huh? Except the driving. Until they come up with autonomous cars that do 190, I don't think I'd want to drive to go places, like to the extent, like if you ever watch Landman, we were talking about that the other day, you got your city, and then you got your city, Texas is huge. Texas is freaking huge. It just takes a long time to go from point A to point B. So yeah, border towns, I don't know if I want to live in a border town, but you hear this music, is it bad? Tell me how bad it is. We had husband off, wow, some dude offed his wife? Yeah, we're truly in the, I would love to say we're in the end times, but I don't think we are. I ain't afraid of the end times. Bring it on. Bring on the meteor, the end times, because I know I'm not going to be here when the shit truly hits fan, Because the Bible, let's see. There's 3 seasons in Thailand. Hot, 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 and hot, hot, hot. You just got to go when it's regular hot. I watch the videos of like Pattaya and whatnot, and you see the chicks like trying to grab all the guys and whatever. They're crazy. They're crazy, them chicks. They're kind of nasty too. Traffic in Texas is getting horrible. Yeah, but 155K? Is there no appreciation in Texas? The average home here take pictures of me. Did I give you permission? The average home here in Vegas, and it ain't gonna be, if you want to buy something that's 2,800 square feet with a 3-car garage, you're spending between $500,000 and $600,000 easy, and it's on a postage stamp. You could hear your neighbors fart and knocking boots and whatnot. But Yeah, I mean, you can't even buy a condo. I mean, you could buy a condo, maybe like a 1-bedroom condo in the hood for $150, but that's about it. Just wearing some nice cologne. What am I wearing today? I put on Tom Ford Black Orchid. I was in the mood. I was smelling myself. But yeah, terrible, terrible things are happening out in the world. We're in the battle of our spiritual lives. It's a good versus evil thing. End times ain't coming yet. But I welcome the asteroid. Someone was asking me, just tell me if you want to get into it. Someone was asking me, because I said a long time ago, I was going to discuss the concept in my belief system, which, I try to line it up with, reality, what heaven is, and Valhalla, which is technically the same thing. It's the Viking version. If you guys want me to discuss that, I think I got some interesting concepts revolved around that. A lot of them are, they're based. So I welcome the end times. Vegas is high. Vegas is crazy. Talk about the negotiations for peace been involved in this week. The Bible says about peace and security. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you know what? Like, if 47 came out and said, you know what? Hold on. That was a weird. The guy in a blue shirt. He just did some weird shit. Is he with her or not? I might have to go into superhero mode. He just did something creepy. He like snuck up on her, but I was hoping he was with her. But I guess he is. Whatever. He should declare that breathing oxygen is the best thing ever. And you know what these people would do? What up, Dalai Lama? These people would like put a bag over their head and like suffocate themselves because, oh my God, I don't get it. I don't get the mentality, the derangement, when to knock something that's good. Oh my God, I don't agree. And I talked a little about this on Wednesday. I don't agree with the new tax bill that's out. I don't agree with everything the guy does. I'm not a freaking groupie, This isn't a cult. I don't agree with everything he does. All right, they're gonna let your tax, if you buy a car, you can write off the interest you're paying on a car, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't mean, see, people don't know how taxes work. You don't get it for free, whatever. It equates to about 1/3 of what you're paying. That's cool. Buy a new car, stimulate the economy, yada, yada, yada. What happened to no tax on Social Security? That's some bullshit, some total, utter bullshit. That tax on Social Security was left out of this new tax bill. And the constituency is not pleased, nor are a lot of the Republican senators and congressmen. They're just like, F you, bro. Just F you, bro. Because that is so important. Our seniors, you work your whole life. I mean, you get screwed. It's a Ponzi scheme. If you got simple 4.25 interest on all the money you put into Social Security, you'd be, at the end of your career, you'd be making, the average person making average wages their whole life, you'd be making $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. You could actually live off of it if you were getting a normal return. Not stock market return averaging 9 to 11% a year. We're talking average return, like in a high yield savings account or a CD. That's why back when Ross Perot, if you guys remember that cat, he was just like, oh, we got to do self-guided, allow people the choice. So your Social Security would have been the equivalent of an IRA where you could self-direct it. And the government was like, no, we need that to fund wars and shit, That pisses me the actual F off. So instead, you work your whole freaking life, give away, 8% of your money or 6% of everything that you earn, and you walk away with, if you're lucky, anywhere between $1,200 and maybe $3,000, $3,500, the max or whatever. What a freaking ripoff! And then they want to take taxes out. Taxes on top of that. Well, okay, if it was in a high yield savings account or a CD, or it was self-directed and you had it in the market, you put it into PLTR, what's in Bitcoin, what's in Bitcoin, oh my God, you'd be a trillionaire. Yeah, you'd have to pay taxes on that because there would be gains on it, just the same way an IRA works. Not a Roth IRA, but a standard IRA. It's the way it works. Same with a 401k. You get taxed when you start drawing it. However, that's acceptable, being that you're getting a true return. Like you'd have accumulated at the end of your 40-year career like $1.5 million. Easily. And you're gonna charge senior citizens tax on their freaking $2,000 a month that you can't even live off of. You gotta have like 10 people live together like the freaking Golden Girls. What bullshit is that? You know? What bullshit is that? And then they come out with the thing where you had to put the thing over your face and get all these things to eliminate senior citizens so they didn't have to pay that. Anyone ever think of that except me? How much money did they save on Social Security because of the billions and billions? Coincidence? Maybe. And I'm in a great mood. If I disappear, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And to charge that and property tax on top of that bullshit. Property tax. Okay, if you bought a Samsung TV, right? You paid 8.5% interest. While here it's 8.75% interest. $1,000. You paid $87.50 tax on it. Now, what if every fucking year they sent you a bill for $87.50 because you bought that TV? That's what property tax is. That's what property tax is. That's insane. You own your home. You busted your ass to own it, especially if you pay it off. That's even more egregious, that you still have to pay property tax. But who's gonna fix the streets? Your mother. Stop with that. Stop defending the frickin' man. Stop defending the man. People defend the man. I don't know why. Stop. But who's gonna pay for the school? Tariffs are gonna pay for the schools and the streets. Cutting back on government waste is gonna pay for the schools and the streets. Duh. Peace. Not having to spend billions on frickin' military because we have peace in the world. Maybe we can fix our streets. What a frickin' scam. And then, I mean, seniors. I remember in New York, my grandmother, when she retired, and she worked her whole life, you know, well, not her whole life, because my gramps got killed and whatnot. She was a union worker. Look for the union label. She was a garment worker down the garment industry. So when she retired, I don't know if it's everywhere, but New York State did give like a 30%, was my recollection, I don't know, discount, whatever you want to call it, reduction in her property tax. I remember that, because I used to pay her property tax. So yeah, there was like a 30% reduction involved because she was a senior. It's like, pay for shit you already own? Please. Alright, let's view the deleted message. Let's see, Matt Pack wants to know if I'm off my meds. Ask your mom, I was with her last night. Let's see. Then they take, yeah. I mean, it's the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. Taxing, so I don't agree with everything that 47 does. You'd be stupid to agree with everything an individual does, you know? I mean, let's just call it the way it is. That tax bill, he didn't lower the corporate tax. That's a bad thing. You know, that's a bad thing. I mean, it's not bad. He extended the current tax rates, which were set to expire, you know, and people are like, oh my God. If they would have taken over if the cackle queen would have taken over, the Trump tax rates would have, tax cuts would have expired. And everyone's like, you know, oh, he's just for the rich, just for the rich. You would have, like, does everyone forget that when he enacted that, when he was in office, everyone got like an extra couple thousand a year? You know? Whatever. But billionaires aren't paying their fair share. That's another stupid freaking argument. You know why billionaires don't have to pay their fair share? Because they create jobs. Because they are doing the work that other people, that the government cannot. What, Bror Fredrik? Yes. Billionaires, Elon Musk, whoever, they're the ones creating jobs. They're the ones who are building. They're the ones who are driving industry. The government cannot. So if you get a tax break out of the deal, whatever. You know, that's why they get tax breaks. But they're not paying their fair share. Well, how much are they personally taking? It's a big, beautiful bill. It says Chad. Yeah, it's crazy. Why are there income limits if you start collecting Social Security? Yeah, exactly. That's another shit that should be absolved. So you need to supplement your income when you're a senior citizen because you're on Social Security. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. So for every $2 you make, beyond $23,000, they take $1 from your Social Security and they stick it on the end and hope you croak. What a scam that is. What an utter freaking scam it is, because you have to work. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Who the is going to live off of $2K or $2,400 or $1,800 a year? You can't live off that shit. I couldn't. There's no world where you could pay your bills with that. You know? But yeah, but they'll probably push the no tax on tips thing for now it's called for qualified recipients, and there's all sorts of criteria in there. It used to be, oh, it's just for hospitality workers. But no, anyone who gets tips should do it. I mean, technically, I get tips. Am I going to be qualified for it? No. You get to instantly write off like the first $50K or some shit. I don't know how it works. I didn't look into it because I'm not gonna be eligible for that. Because I'm probably not a qualified. This isn't a job per se. It is, but it isn't. Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, taxi cab drivers, the chick who does your hair, you know, all the rest of that. You know, they'll actually, you know, the dealers here in town. You know, everyone who's, if it's an accepted profession where tipping is considered the norm, which I think tipping is bullshit anyway. I mean, let's just be real. Tipping is out of fucking control. If I gotta stand up to get something like my food, I'm not tipping a freaking dime if I gotta order it standing up. If I'm sitting down, that's different. Standing up, don't turn that iPad around and make me press custom 0. Because I'm not tipping. But yeah, the tax rates are gonna stay the same. But no, the Social Security thing pisses me the actual F. Thank you, Chris. I mean, I study. I'm a numbers guy. And I like making money. I'm a numbers guy, you know, and I do my research. So yeah, I look deep into these things. I mean, the capital gains tax, they're toying around with some capital gains things that are going to be advantageous. If you're not Boots and pop out a kid, you're going to get a tax break. They're going to increase the standard deduction, I think by $2,000, which basically in your pocket, $2,000 on a deduction, because people don't know how it works. You figure 20% of that, it's like $400 in your pocket on a $2,000 deduction. That's the way it works. I even know business people. Business people I'm surrounded with are always like, it's just a deduction, it's all deduction. That's not how deductions work. It's not free money like manna from heaven. You pay less taxes on what you make. It's not like free money. You know, if there's a free money glitch, I want to find out about it. They shouldn't limit they should definitely not limit income on Social Security because you have to supplement it. You just straight up have to supplement it. There's no tipping in Europe, says all classics, unless you want it, but it's not expected. Exactly. Why do I gotta subsidize? I mean, I'm sure there's some tip people out there. Why do I gotta subsidize, someone's workers? Pay people a living frickin' wage and be done with it. But yeah, we're screwed up. So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. How about stop and tap 1,200? The taxable on a hand pay. Okay, you write it off. It's dumber than dirt. I mean, it's been the same since what, like 1805. I mean, it should be like 5 or 10 grand by now. That's kind of stupid. But yeah, I certainly don't agree with everything the guy does. I mean, I have no reason to. I'm skeptical of everyone. I mean, people who blindly follow their leaders, like, duh, let me put on my freaking, MAGA hat. I mean, I'm down with the guy, but I'm going to analyze everything he does too. Like I was saying about the plane on Wednesday that he got from Qatar. Yes, he had to accept it. He had to accept it. You don't insult a country and not take their gift. I mean, that was a lavish gift, a plane, but now sink that MFer to the bottom of the frickin' ocean. Because it's got spyware in it. It's got listening devices. It's got an off switch somewhere. Sink that. I don't care how they're going to tear it apart and look into it and whatever. Sink that shit to the bottom of the ocean and turn it into a frickin' reef that we could all fish off of. They'll never know. Make another one. Make it look just the same. Qatar will never know. But Qatar is also going to infuse our economy with $1.2 trillion. Trillion, like that's the part they leave out. Oh, they gave us a $400 million plane. Gave Trump. Oh yeah, like if you gave me a Corvette and I'm driving around in it, you think he's gonna go joyriding in the fucking thing or something? I mean, just stop. They didn't give it to him, He's not parking it in his garage. He's sleeping in the damn thing. It was a freaking gift. And a gift to a country like Qatar, $400 million means squat. Because they're about to invest $1.2 trillion. You know what $1 trillion is? It's 1,000 billion. That's mind-boggling level of money. Don't get me started. I need another cup of coffee. That's a good one. They should use that for the exiting people who don't belong here out of the country. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You know what they should also do? All the airlines that have been flying all the people all over the country and depositing them in certain areas to screw with the elections, like they did in Milwaukee and all over. You know what they should do? All those people who got paid to do that on their own dime, they should be using those planes to send them back. They took money to transport illegals all over this country and strategically deposit them in politically sensitive areas to change the voter profiles. Now it's time for you to pay the boss, pay the cost of that on your own frickin' dime. Too bad. We need more coffee. We need more coffee. I wonder if this dude is down. Is he down? I don't know. I don't remember. Does he make good coffee? We're going to find out, because I need more. It's too bad Paris, Las Vegas can't figure out how to take the sewer smell out of the shower. Yeah, it is. Caesars overall has a sewage problem. I don't know what it is, but Caesar's properties tend to have stinkiness going on. Let's see what else. I knew back in the day, I knew this chick who was she used to go to Martha's Vineyard every summer as a housekeeper. And I was just like, and she, she was doing well. Well, you think a housekeeper, da-da-da-da-da-da. But no, housekeeper, house cleaner, not housekeeper, house cleaner. She would make like thousands upon thousands a week. Like she would make in their season at Martha's Vineyard for like 3 months, she would make like her entire year's salary and just go chilling after that. Alexander, the mighty bull, with the $5. I do appreciate that. That is friggin' awesome. Yep, we are accumulating to pay for parking. Nice. Park MGM, pool corridor from Aria smelled. Yeah, this town does smell like doo-doo sometimes because it comes out of the sewer, when it's very hot out. I mean, that's a given, but for some reason, Caesar's Properties, it's got a funky aroma that comes out of their bathrooms. Is what it is. We need more coffee because I am more fun on my second cup. When building Caesar's Properties, you want to save money. That's what I would. If you guys know about, Dave's right. If you guys know about P-traps, a P-trap, you got your pipe, and then you got this P-trap, and then it goes up to the sink. So the water goes down, and it travels like this. And after the water stops running, in the bottom of the P part, not P, it's shaped like a P. In the bottom, water stays there. And that prevents the sewer smell from coming up the sewer pipes and coming up in your freaking bathroom. And when a P-trap dries out, like if you don't use your bathroom, if you go away for like 6 months, you go to Thailand with Mark, right? When you come home, your house is gonna stink like freaking sewer because the water in the P-trap eventually evaporates, and that's what's preventing the stink from coming up from the sewers, and the alligators and the anacondas and all that shit. That's what Caesar smells like. Caesar smells like they forgot to install the P-traps. It's just like main line right into the friggin' sewer, which our sewers, I think, are Lake Mead. So don't drink them waters. Just don't. If you see your showgirls, what? Ew. Yeah, I know what you're saying about the P-trap. Yeah, alright, we gotta get us some coffee. And then I'll continue on this mission. This guy's like pouring some beers for some EDCs. Where are all the EDCs? They were here a little while ago. All the naked chicks. I don't see no naked chicks no more. Alright. I'm getting coffee. Let's see. Alright, might as well give you views. Not to look at me, but there's some views. Alright, let's point over there. See if we can see some EDCs. Alright, there we go. Is she an EDC? She's on a phone. She's on Tinder. Swiping left. Alright, I'll be back in a second. He's gonna go get it. Alright. Is that another screenshot? Is that another thumbnail? See, this ties in, like the chaos that we're seeing in the world today, ties into what I've been thinking about a lot. I don't think I'm going to talk about my concept of what heaven is yet. I don't think you guys are ready for such a deep conversation. But it's better than you think. It's gonna be pretty freaking awesome when we get to it. I'm not into it. You watch my stuff? Thank you. But I did want to talk about rusty metal P-traps are dangerous. Yeah. I mean, drinking your friggin' water from your pipes is friggin'... You know why okay. You want to do a little conspiracy activities? You know why they started to eliminate copper? It has nothing to do with the price. But copper was found to absorb electromagnetic energy. So basically, when you had an older home full of copper piping, it acted as a Faraday cage to protect you. But now we're like inundating it from the inside with Wi-Fi and all that, so who cares? In Thailand, nobody stays on the first 2 floors because they stink. Ew. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have like a close friend, Mark, you know, like, yo, I'm gonna be gone for like 3 months. Can you go and like flush my toilet? Toilets have a built-in P-trap. Look on the side of your toilet, unless you got an expensive one. But the average toilet, look on the side, and you can see the porcelain, it's shaped like a P. Otherwise, it'd be duty backwashing in there. Each heartbeat, we draw courage from the universe, anchored to our planet. That's pretty freaking deep. Alright, what do we got to talk about? I'm going to segue into the 90s. The 90s were cool. Hold on, let me check something out. The 90s were cool for many reasons. I don't have enough time to get into it. I was going to do a whole, like, well, I'm going to get this coffee at like friggin' 8 o'clock. I should have prepped. The 90s were cool. We peaked in my opinion, we peaked as a species in the 90s. People will debate it back and forth, and I guess everyone could say their own, but I think we peaked as a species in the 90s. The other thing that I remember, which is tying into what I first said, besides that crying baby, babies love Las Vegas. But listen, they're just cries of joy. Why would you bring your infant to Vegas? Like, why? Dude, you need a bra, bro. Anyway, yeah, modern building code. So you use plastic pipe, that way you can get properly irradiated. Anyway, is that the most shrill sound besides a nagging woman? Yeah, I mean, money was growing on trees in the 90s. All right, we got time. Let's talk about it. Money just grew on trees in the 90s. You were just like, I need some money. Oh, there's something I could do, make a boatload of money. Like, everything you touched was money. It was so easy to make money in the 90s that people lost respect for money. But one of the other cool things about the 90s, relating to what we said about, you know, like the way the world is all fucked up now, people got along. Like, I don't remember, I mean, in my world, maybe because it's the energy that I give off, I perceive some racial and ethnic tension, but I see it more visually with, you know, what I see on X and, you know, how I poison my mind looking at news shit and whatever. But people got along. Like, people just didn't care. People didn't care. You know, like, people notice color now more than ever. And that was with the guy who was supposed to bring us all together. Barry, what was it, Obama, something like that. What was his name? Not Osama. Barry, yes, he's married to Michael, I don't know, whatever his name was. He started that shit. He started, like, dividing people and getting us all to notice color and those type of things. He was supposed to bring us together. He tore us apart because I don't think anyone cared. At least, I mean, I lived in urban areas or urban area adjacent my entire life, and like, nobody had any problems, you know? I mean, I don't have any problems, I'd say, you know, I get along with it. You know, some people like look at this and they think it's some type of weird thing because you know, my pigmentation, but it's, you know, it's of my people. But I never perceived problems back then. I mean, music, everyone just listened to music. It was like, homogenous. I mean, everyone listened to 90s rap, 90s alternative. There was some 70s and 80s left over. There was hip hop. There was just the music scene brought us together. I mean, nobody gave a flying fuck about the things that are apparent today, you know? And now everyone's like on each other's cases, and it wasn't like that back then, you know? Assholes come in all colors, you know? But now it's, you know, we're like so divided. Like whenever I talk to certain people, you know, I'll be like, you know, we're not supposed to be talking, right? I'll fuck around. I'll be like, you know, we're not supposed to be talking, right? And everyone laughs. Yeah, we're not supposed to get along. We're not supposed to high five, you know? It's like, why? And they're even dividing men and women. You know, they're making a cultural divide between the sexes too, which is kind of freaking weird. I'm never getting this coffee. That guy ain't never leaving that bar. So I'm gonna be like sitting there sucking wing with him. I remember it being just more peaceful, more harmonious, people just getting along, money was easy, the living was easy, prices were, I mean, there's always inflation, which is a hidden tax, you know. Inflation isn't real, it's a tax. You know, homes weren't that expensive. Life was easy. We had just enough technology to get shit done, you know? Like, you had a fax machine, whoop-de-doo. I mean, it wasn't... Oh, relationships. Relationships were easier in the 90s before technology. Why do you say that, Bror Fredrik? Because if you're with someone, right? And you leave the house angry or some shit comes up, you're fighting. Now you can just be like, F you, I hate you, you're a hoe, da-da-da-da, and it's instant. You can instantly spit out whatever venom you want from through glass at the other person. You know, you could just be vile, you could just be off the cuff, you could just be gross, you could just be responding in a way that you normally wouldn't. Because back in the day, you could have a problem with the person that you're with, and you'd have to wait until you saw them. So you'd have all day, or you'd stop by a payphone or something, and you'd jam a bunch of quarters in, and you know, that type of stuff. But you'd physically you'd be forced, I wouldn't say forced, but you'd be compelled to sit down with that person and work things out. Even if it wasn't the end result you were looking for, you just couldn't be off the cuff and rude and just like a total asshole to one another. And there was less problems. Social media causes problems in relationships, 100%. I mean, my ideal woman wouldn't even have frickin' social media. You know, unless it's just strictly for friends. But, you know, if they're looking for validation, screw it. But you would, even in business, it wasn't as volatile. You'd have to go calling on the other individual that was aggrieved or whatever, and sit down and say, you know, let's talk about this. I got into it with someone yesterday. He was a young guy, he was being a total asshole, a total freaking asshole, and I was looking to buy something, and he was being a total asshole, you know, and I saw that he looked me up and down. I was looking to buy something to refinish one of my countertops at this sort of industrial warehouse of like granite and marble and quartzite and all the rest of that shit. I wanted a polishing kit. And he looked me up and down. Like, and I was just like, look, you little shit. You know, I've been doing it. Just don't go there, right? Anyway. So you know what I said? You know, like, we were getting into it. He was annoying me. And I said, listen, dude. How about, and he's starting to push back. I'm like, look, I'm here to spend money. I'm just asking you. I said, how about this? How about we both take a breath? You ready? And he's like looking at me like I'm nuts. I said, you ready? Come on, you ready? 1, 2, 3, let's take a breath. And he started laughing. I was like, all right, can we start over now? Can we start over? And he was like, yeah, let's start over. You know, I forced him to take that pause and not go down that road that we were going on, which would be like, you know, one of us like taking a swing at the other, or me telling him to go fuck off and walking out the door, whatever it happened to be. But we reset, and that's what it was back then before technology. You'd be forced to actually deal with the person. You know, you just couldn't ghost them. You could, you know. Communication was important, especially in relationships, and not just, you know, physical relationships, but in work and this and that, you know. You didn't get fired in an email, you know. Guess what? You're fired, you know. Don't come back on Monday. I mean, we had answer machines and all the rest of that shit. I mean, it wasn't like living in a freaking medieval times. Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be needing some more milk. Thank you, man. Cool. We got coffee. Yeah, do what Val Marie says. Hit the like button. And the music was awesome too. I still listen to 90s music. I listened to the entire album twice last night while I was doing some work. Screaming Trees, Sweet Oblivion. And I'm gonna go for Real Sugar. Well, what's it want to catch my face? I'm going for some Real Sugar, effort. Do we got time? Oh, I got time. Sweet Oblivion. What a freaking great album. You guys know what I'm talking about? What's this dude pointing at me? I'm not EDC, bro. Torn like an old dollar bill. What a song. Oh my God, I get choked up every time I hear that. Anyway, he's gonna have to walk all the way back there. Yeah, I had a beeper in the 90s. I had a cell phone in the 90s too. I mean, it was like, you know, the early 90s I had a cell phone. By the late 90s, you know, they were like smaller, but, you know, my first cell phone was one of them Panasonics. It was like you were calling in an airstrike or some shit. You know, you're giving coordinates so they could start shelling. Yeah, I mean, there was enough technology. It wasn't like the Stone Ages. There was enough technology. Had the beeper, even had an alphanumeric beeper. I always kept up with technology because that was important. I had an answering service. You know, I paid like, I don't know, $100 a month, and some chick could answer the phone and say, Bror Fredrik, this office, how can I help you? You know, there was enough technology, but it wasn't a distraction. This woman here, look, the one that we were pointing at before, she has not gotten off that phone. Look at the two of them. They have not gotten off that phone. Alright, oh, she's gonna consume some liquid. Cool. Let's see how long it takes to go back on the phone. Bam. So she took a break to friggin' drink and get right back on the phone. I mean, is that life? Is that living? I see people here in Vegas all the time. You know, all they're doing, they're like selfies, especially younger people. Selfies all over the place. It's like, so you paid $5,000 to come to Vegas so you can put up some Instagram selfies? I mean, what kind of shit is that? But, whatever. This is like black coffee. I got enough hair on my chest. Oh, there we go. My man, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I had a fax machine. I paid $999 for a fax machine that had a built-in answering machine in it. I mean, shit was expensive back in the day, in the 90s. That I must say. I think I posted a receipt once. I was going through old papers and I found a receipt from Service Merchandise for a 4-head hi-fi VHS machine. It was $199. You know, plus tax and all that crap. I mean, shit was expensive. You know, I mean, certain things have gotten a lot cheaper if you factor it out. But you know, I had the technology, but it wasn't like caught up in it. You know, people couldn't bail at the last minute. If you made plans with someone, it'd be like, you know, yo, want to head out to Montauk? You know, on Saturday, you know, on Friday, whatever, we'll head out to Montauk, you know, the Stripers are running. And be like, yeah, all right, come pick me up, or I'll pick you up, whatever. You know, and you'd spend 2 days, like, sharpening your hooks and, you know, putting new freaking 30-pound test on your surf rod and whatnot, and then Saturday would roll around and they'd be there. But now people are just like, the phones and all this shit makes people flaky too. Makes people flaky because it's too easy to be like, sorry, shit came up, bro. You know, people are flaky. When you made a commitment back then, you made a commitment. You followed through. All right, let's get some coffee. It's hard to believe the 90s were like that long ago. I mean, I was in my 20s, but it was an awesome time. It was an awesome time to be alive. The cars were freaking awesome. The chicks were awesome. The music was awesome. People were awesome. It was just freaking awesome. You know? Nope. I gotta dip into my private stash. I put real sugar in there. I don't taste it. Let me get in my stash. We'll keep going. If you've seen the EDCs, let me know. Yeah, I got a stash. Average house was like what? You could buy a beautiful home for like 100 grand, 105, 110, like 200K. Holy shit, that was a house. All right, let me hear your comments. Let me read what you guys are talking about. Yeah, the big silver cell phone. Yeah, I had one of those indestructible Nokias at one point. VHS tapes. Yeah, remember going to like Blockbusters and whatnot. I mean, DVDs too. But yeah, you go to Blockbusters and there was the Betamax Wars. And Betamax was definitely better, but there was the Betamax Wars. And then if you wanted to see naked chicks or whatnot and people knocking boots, you'd have to go in the back of the mom and pop one. You know, the mom and pop video store, like Bob's, you know, video store. And they'd have like a curtain back there, like a black skanky curtain on a frickin' on like a shower rod, and you'd have to walk back there with all. Not that I've ever done it, with all the other DJs, and you'd have your choice of Debbie Does Dallas and Beta and VHS and whatnot, and then you'd have to walk through the whole rest of the store in front of like children and your neighbors, you know, walking out with like Debbie Does Dallas and frickin' Betamax, and it was weird. But see, that kept people from doing it, you know? That kept people from like exploring, you know, if you wanted to experience, I'm trying to find the right words that YouTube's not going to freak out about. If you wanted to experience intimacy, you'd actually find someone to do it with. Now it's just like people like popping on, you know, Corn and going to town. It's weird. It's weird. That poisons the brain. Dudes, don't watch Corn. Just stop watching Corn. You know, even if you're single, stop watching Corn. It's unhealthy. It wires your brain incorrectly. Women, you shouldn't be watching Corn. Just not. Ew, that's gross. But men, just stop. Just stop being manipulated by your Johnson. You had a ham radio and a 2-meter walkie-talkie. Yeah. Back in the day, I had a single sideband. Well, I forgot Cobra. I was trying to think of the name of the brand that I had back in the day, like when CB radios were the shit. I was like 12 years old and I saved up all my freaking money and I went out and bought a Cobra single sideband. I remember that. Thoughts on COMEY with the 86 you know what? I hope he goes to prison. I mean, he knows exactly what he was doing, and now everyone's following suit. They're all rallying around. Oh, 86. Well, 86 means, oh, I was just 86 from Caesars. That means thrown in the garbage. That means kicked out. That means gone. But in more modern vernacular, it means this. So 86, you know, the sitting president, yeah, he should go to jail. Had a phone like it was in the movie, Night at the Roxbury. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never owned a BlackBerry. I owned a PDA, a personal digital assistant, like a Hewlett-Packard thing. I was always into the technology, but, you know, until it became mass communication where it's just different. I didn't get my first computer until 1999 was when I got my first computer. And I built my first website in 1999 too. Yeah, I did. This is so full to the brim. Let's kill it real quick. Yeah, the Motorola Razors. I have so many cool DVDs and I recorded all my CDs. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of CDs. I took like a month out of my life and set up a computer and just kept burning CDs onto the computer. So I do have it saved and backed up, thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. But I still have the CDs. I don't know why I haven't tossed them. Maybe I'll put them up on... Where can I sell those? But I got a lot of DVDs. I'm thinking about getting a DVD player. That's only the second commercial that I got. His whole name. That's cool. Freaking Wednesday was gross. I was getting demolished. It's absolutely gross. White men can't hunt. Go into that. Yeah, that's why you can't take the battery out. But when you could take the battery out, they still have, it still has enough juice to last a while now. Even if you have one that you take the batteries out of. Yeah, we're being tracked. I remember when electronic tolls first hit, where you're supposed to, get the thing and then, you zoom through and all this other stuff and pay your tolls. And I remember saying to someone back then, this was in the 90s too, I'm like, I ain't getting that shit. They're like, why not? You save so much time. I was like, because I don't want to be tracked. I do not want to be tracked. And they were like, oh, you're paranoid. What are you hiding? I ain't hiding shit. It's just the principle. I don't want to be tracked. I don't want to be tracked because at some point someone's going to want to know where I am, Everyone's going to be on the wrong side of something someday. So I don't care how cool you are, how good you are, your political beliefs, whatever it happens to be. I don't want to be tracked. And then they started putting the trackers in your animals. You think that's to save the animals? You honestly think that's to bring Spot home to you? Oh, the bloop, bloop, bloop. One, it's a money maker. Oh, Napster was cool. Yeah, viruses and Napster and viruses. You think that's really so they could bring Spot home besides the money they make over? No, it's to track you. Because they know there's a high likelihood that if you bug out, you're going to take your dog with you. In Vegas, it's mandatory. It is absolutely mandatory that you microchip your animal. Why's that? Do you know the other thing that's recently come out? Because all the stuff with the, what they shooting up the kids with when you get born? Now they've been checking what they shoot the dogs up with. You know, all the shots, the mandatory shots. You know, dogs live almost twice as long when they're not shot up with all that stuff that they make you get. How about that? You know that, like, infant death, you know, what do they call that? The syndrome, instant death syndrome or whatever, infant death syndrome. You know, like, most of that is caused by them injecting you with, like, mercury and shit. Mercury's actually cool. Mercury is pretty freaking cool, but you don't want to put it in your body. Oh, that's good. That is good. Nailed it. Yeah. Venus, you going? Yep, my Sony Mavica. My Sony Mavica is cool. 8 miles out. What are we talking about? 8 Mile Island? 6 Mile Island? 8 miles out? Isn't that Eminem? Your aunt, all classics. My aunt and uncle owned a mom and pop video store. What's yeah, you'd go get the corn tapes out of the back. Like what? Like who? Like Vanessa Del Rio and shit? Not that I would know. I started working, when I started working 1,000 years ago, you made it with the company, put it on, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, California license plates they can track you with too. Absolutely. Bullshit. I mean, it's too late. It's too late for us in the grand scheme of things, but we should be aware of it. You know, like we all have open mics to the freaking internet, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter. Unless you come home, you put your shit in a Faraday bag and you go about your business. But who really does that? You know, I was telling you about the movie Havoc on Wednesday. Great movie. Great movie if you're into action. You know how messed up things are now, and you know, even my brain's getting wired a certain way. You know how I judge a good movie nowadays? If I don't look at my phone during the movie. Is that messed up? That's when I know it's a good movie. Because I wasn't watching a YouTube video while the movie was on. Or checking out X or doing some dumb shit. That's how I know it's a good movie. That I didn't pick up my phone during the movie. That's how I judge whether a movie was good or not. If I'm like doing this, then the movie was like, meh, whatever. That's kind of messed up if you think about it. Sudden infant death syndrome. Enter the Sandman was about that? I did not know that. 86 means 8 miles out, and oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, okay. I did not know that. I love knowing shit. Now I just know that. Thank you, Ralph. I love knowing shit. Like, I'll give you one. I've said it before. The whole 9 yards. I was drinking the coffee, yeah, the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. Yeah, you know, we redid the kitchen. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. You know what the 9 yards means? During World War II, they'd load belts of 50 millimeter on like P-51s and whatnot. The belts that they would use on those aircraft, because they'd have like 6 50 cals, usually 6 or 4, on, you know, fighter aircraft, Corsair, things like that. The belts for the 50 mil, for the 50 cals, were 9 yards long. There were 27 feet of 50 cal, you know, loaded onto the belt. So pilots would come down and be like, yeah, what happened? Oh, I saw you down that, you know, whatever, that Japanese Zero. They'd be like, yeah, I gave him the whole 9 yards. That's where that came from. The expression, the whole 9 yards, was basically mag dumping your 50 cal. That's where that came from. Just so you know. Let me know if you want to do steaks by the poolside. That actually sounds good. That actually sounds good. I've been hankering a grill lately. I have not found an indoor grill worth its salt ever. I might have to come out and grill. Yeah. What is this? Oh, never mind. Yeah, everything is tracking you now. I mean, the casino chips, they could track the casino chip. You know, technically you're not supposed to leave the casino with casino chips. You're technically not supposed to. But they have RFIDs inside. They could tell, you know, they could tell how much you have on you at any given time. Like you think, oh, I'm just going to slide, you know, some chips in my pocket. Not that you have anything to hide, but they can tell how much you have on you. You know, they'll just... You walk through a scanner or they could whatever, RFID it, and they will know that you have $1,405 in your pocket worth of chips. You're technically not supposed to leave the casino, technically, but they allow it. But yeah. What, Missy Vegas is here? Missy Vegas? Alright, hold on, Missy Vegas. I got something for you. I have something for Missy Vegas. Right. The whole 9 yards. Alright, you ready, Missy Vegas? Because it's your upcoming birthday, I have to sing you some happy birthday activities. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Missy Vegas. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I was waiting for you to show up. That wasn't my best rendition. I'm gonna have to do another one on your birthday. It wasn't my best rendition, but it's pretty good. Yeah, only inside the casinos they're tracked. This is true, but everything we do is being tracked. Yeah, I mean, you could take them home and everything. I mean, but because, like, they don't want them being used as legal tender. Like, that I should leave the casino with $100 chip and, you know, give it to this dude as a tip, or, you know, give it to some guy to change my oil. That's why you're not supposed to leave the casino with it. You know, you're just not supposed to, because of that thing. Because it's not considered legal tender, even though it has monetary value here in Vegas. That's why. Thank you, Chris. You know, there's always that rumor that the churches here accept, you know, casino chips is like, you know, in the collection plate. They might, I don't know, whatever. Who cares? But that's the reason. They don't want it used as legal tender. Do you know that if you pick a chip off the floor, or you pick a casino, a slot machine receipt off the floor, or you walk up to a machine and there's like, you know, $10 left in it and start playing, you know, those are felonies. Like, if you find a chip, even a $5 chip in a casino, and on the floor, and you put it in your pocket, that's a felony. That's a felony here in Las Vegas. Playing a machine that you walked up to that had money left over, that's a felony. Finding a ticket that, you know, I mean, whether they'll pursue it or not, but if you found a ticket that had like $194.13 on it, and you were like sick, and you put it in the machine, that's a felony. That's literally a felony in Las Vegas. You know, finding money in a casino. You're supposed to turn it in. You're not supposed to touch it. You're supposed to call security. I mean, there's not that, you know, there should be signs somewhere. Don't touch shit on the floor. But you're supposed to call security and be like, hey, there's a $100 chip over there. You pocket it, felony. Because technically, yeah, it's stealing. But to make it a felony, that's kind of messed up. Ever since I sung Happy Birthday, the woman who's been on her phone nonstop, she put it down, she's looking over here. Does she want me to sing her Happy Birthday? Kathleen Lopez. You gonna be back? Oh, you gonna be back the first week in August? That's cool. This is only the third or fourth commercial I got. What a relief. I never thought about the chip and the pets. Yeah. Because, I mean, I would take my dog with me, you know? I mean, the likelihood is that you would take your dog with you. And they started that shit way back in the day. It's not to bring your little buddy home, it's to track you. But that's a conspiracy. I think conspiracy theorists are batting like 800. There's truth to every conspiracy, and as of late, we've been right a lot. We've legitimately been right a lot. Alright, let me put on all messages. Let me check fan fundalization. So I want to thank Marianne for the 10, Phil for the 4, Mark for the 5, Alexander for the 5. I do appreciate it. That'll help defray the cost of parking. It's EDC. It's $30. I don't know where all the EDCers are. I left a ticket in a slot machine once and mentioned it secured the casino game. Wow, that's kind of awesome. That's pretty good. Turned over a $200 to, yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. But most people don't know that. If you found a $100 chip on the floor, most people would put it in their pocket. If I didn't know the rule, I'd probably put it in my pocket too. You know, I just don't want a felony. You know, I've been clean. But yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. But it's just like found money. But it's not, it's property of the casino. There's a whole bunch of legalities to it. That is very honorable. Yes, it is. I agree. So what I'd like everyone to do, if you don't mind, because I can get into some topics. I don't care what they are. I'll talk about anything and everything. If you're watching this later on in the replay activities, if you want to do some subject matter, let me know what you want to talk about. Or if you want to do an Ask Me Anything. Those are always fun. I like doing Ask Me Anythings, believe it or not. I did too many. I was doing them like once a week or whatever, and people got like tired of like asking me shit, asking me shit. So yeah, I might sneak one in sometime next week, because I have fun doing it. I like being put on the spot. I genuinely do. I like thinking on my feet. I'm starting to see more EDC. This woman, ever since I did the happy birthday, she's just like staring. It's weird. She probably thinks I'm like licking the side of the coffee cup. It's weird. I'm hiding my mouth so she can't see me talking. Like she's completely off the phone. You found a blackjack chip in your dryer? That's kind of cool. That is freaking cool. This second coffee was good. Unfortunately, I just waited a little too long for it. I'm gonna be bouncing off the freaking walls tonight. Last year we went and looked at the EDCers. Remember we went downtown and scoped that out? But that was kind of boring. But see, now you can't tell the difference between the dudes and the chicks anymore. So it'll be weird. Not for me. I got good radar when it comes to that, but yeah, it'd be a little weird. I'd be like, you know, you guys would be like, oh man, point the camera at that hot chick, and it'd be like, EDC, baby. Alright. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Alright, let me do this. Alright, you want to see something real quick? Wait. Oh, I think she knows. She was just chair dancing. I swear to God. She was chair dancing. I take that as a compliment. It's good stuff. But she with her man. She's with her man, you know? Poor cat. Alright. Let's get back to what we were doing. I gotta see a man about a horse. You know what I'm saying? That second coffee went right through me. Yeah, so subjects you want to talk about. If you're watching this, I'll leave the live stream run after I sign off a bit to give you guys an opportunity to go type in there. I did that last Wednesday. Did you notice that? I let it run a half an hour. That way you guys can keep chatting and whatnot. I did that on purpose. I always like to, I don't just abruptly end it. You know, there's two ways of ending it. I can end it on the phone with this button, but that just turns it black on YouTube, but allows you guys to keep discussing stuff, which I don't like just cutting everyone off, you know? I want you guys to have the opportunity to say goodbye and all that. But put subject matter in the comment section, even if you're watching it later. Phil, you other man. Let's see. Clouds rolling. Yeah, it was overcast all day. I was hoping it would rain for at least 30 seconds. She wants to take a ride. Woo. That's fun. I just get amused by people. Drop an octave or two, strange things happen. Alright, people. I'm gonna get to booking. I'm gonna go out in EDC world, go look, see what's going on. So I appreciate everyone hanging out. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate you just hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. You guys are my extended family. And one last time, I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 3. And if you want to support the channel, you know how to go about doing that. Super chat, super thanks. I got the Cash App, the Venmo. I got all the stuff. I got some links down there. Still on the Tiege Hanley. Someone just made a purchase. I haven't got a purchase. They notify me when someone purchases the Tiege Hanley. I just got notified, I don't know, like a week ago, someone bought some worms. I mean, look at the clean skin. That's Tiege Hanley. And my clean living. And my 3 pots of coffee a day. That's what does it. No, Tiege. Links down there. All the good stuff. I love you guys. Next time you'll see me will probably be Monday. Alright? Have a great weekend. I love yous. And on that note, you're welcome, Sylvia. And thank you.